Error. Error. Error.
People of Earth, we are Dan
and Phil,
and for the next hour we present some of the biggest stars on the internet.
What? This is serious.
To take control of your radio.
Streamed entirely in video on the Radio 1 website, this is the Internet Takeover.
In a Bottle by Tom York, and you are now listening to Dan and Phil on the Internet Takeover on Radio 1. So, hello everybody,
hello.
Dan and Phil are here, and welcome to our show, The Internet Takeover, which is all about introducing some of the biggest deals from the internet onto the world of the radio. And as always, on the first Monday of the month, you have me and Phil back here to claim our territory like a spraying skunk, as Phil put it last time.
I promise I won't be spraying anything this week.
Won't you? Okay. That's good to know. Well, yes, we are here for the next hour where we will be playing you some music that we've chosen and having some lols. In 15 minutes, we have got the internet news where we'll be telling you all of the weirdest things that have happened around the world this week. We'll then be facing off in Phil's 7-second challenge. Oh, who's winning that, by the way?
You've won every single game, but I've got
I'm
some good ones this
demolishing
time.
you, am I? Okay, we'll see how that goes. And we will be seeing how Zoe and Joe Saga have chosen to humiliate us in the radio challenge later on.
As always, if you go to bbc.co.uk/Radio 1, you will see us live in the studio where you can see our Halloween set.
It's amazing.
We're kind of having a festively transitional show tonight.
Festively transitional.
Yeah, we've got
nice.
a lot of Halloween. We're dressed as zombie Pokemon.
Zombie Pokemon. Yeah, we just needed an excuse to dig out some onesies, to be honest.
But there may also be a little bit of bonfire night action as well.
Look forward to how we make that segue. And also, if you've got Snapchat, make sure to go onto it and follow BBC R1, as we will be posting some secret behind-the-scenes photos throughout the show, so make sure you are following us on that.
Now it's time to resurrect some fetus Avril Lavigne.
Okay, I know what you're trying to say there, but that just sounds so weird.
It's complicated. With Complicated, which was actually her first single. I thought it was Skater Boy.
Useful Avril Lavigne trivia. So, it was the Halloween spooky week, and I had a bit of a tough time, didn't I, Phil?
Why was it tough?
He abandoned me. He left me alone for pretty much the entire week, and as lots of people on the internet will know, I'm chronically afraid of the dark and general loneliness and lots of things, so I had an extremely traumatic week by myself, sticking my back to the wall, turning off all the lights.
So if you wake up in the middle of the night and you need a wee, and you go to the toilet and it's really dark, what is the scariest thing that could be behind that door?
Nothing rational. That's the thing. I mean, like, what am I imagining? Probably like a 6'5" bipedal goat wielding a chainsaw. That's what I think is actually going to be behind the door.
Is that the thing that's in your mind?
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I was up north visiting my family's new house.
You always sound so northern whenever you come back from visiting your family.
Do I?
It's weird.
Did they rub off on me? Laddie.
Was that your northern impression right there? I can't believe you're actually from the north. Go on then, do your best northern voice.
Hello, my name's Phil. Have a cup of coffee, maybe.
True northerner, aren't you, Phil?
Also, Halloween happened.
It did.
Wasn't that eventful for me? I didn't have an insane party,
Although
unfortunately.
you kind of let everybody down, didn't you, Phil?
I did. I didn't think we were going to get trick-or-treaters, and we got quite a few.
We did prepare for it, though. We got a load of fudge, we got a load of gummy sweets, and we were prepared just in case.
Yeah, I ate all of the sweets before anyone arrived. So when they did arrive, I had a look through the cupboards, and all I could find was some pickled onion Monster Munch. There are other crisps available in the world.
Needless to say that the one person that came to our door wasn't that impressed with it.
They didn't post a pigeon through my letterbox. There's no treat. There's no tricks.
There's no excuse. It was like 6 p.m. when the person... I mean, at what point did you go, I guess no one's going to come? You eat it on November 1st. You don't eat the sweets presuming that no one's going to knock, Phil.
Okay, well, I want everyone to make me feel better, so my favourite thing to discuss, and we never run out of stories, is fails. So this week we're going to talk about Halloween fails. What went wrong with your Halloween that was worse than my story?
Nice.
Tweet us with hashtag Halloween fails.
I reckon there must be quite a lot of stories out there, so please make feel better about that. And also, if you're on Snapchat, make sure you're following BBC R1, as we are actually going to try to reenact some of your Halloween fails that you send in. So there's hashtag Halloween fails on Twitter, and we might even act them out very badly on Snapchat.
We should reenact my story first, so look out for that on Snapchat.
Good idea.
And internet news is coming up next, and now a song that always sounds awesome in headphones, so put your headphones on. It's Empire, Kasabian.
bbc.co.uk/Radio 1 now to watch the Dan and Phil show on Radio 1.
Kasabian, Empire. I just realised that the blood in my mouth, the fake blood, tastes a little bit like onion rings.
It's flaking off your face. That is disgusting. I just used the word flaking as well. I hate that word.
It's so oniony. Anyway, now it's time to cross live to Dan and Phil for all the weirdest stories from the internet this week in Internet News.
This is the Internet News.
Internet news. We love a dog acting like a human in internet news, and this week is no different. Here's a pet dog called Coyote who has mastered the art of singing the note B flat as his owner accompanies him on a saxophone.
So we got the dog there in the corner. And wait. That's the dog. That's the sound of the dog. That noise is actually coming out of the dog's mouth.
That is incredible.
I thought that was that actual saxophone the first time I watched
It
it.
sounds better than the saxophone.
There's a real soul in that dog's voice, isn't there? It's been through some tough times.
There should be more animal/human musical acts.
It's like the one thing that hasn't won Britain's Got Talent yet.
What if you just like shove a hippo into one direction?
Would that complete it for you?
Yeah, they'd break the Vivo record every time.
What about a rapping gerbil? I'd like to see that. Get on
Definitely.
it, bored people at home.
Do it. Internet news.
This week has seen the viral birth of Alex from Target. If you're watching this on repeat in 2017, it is probably still trending worldwide. In case you live under a rock, Alex is basically just a cute guy that works at an American department store that is apparently so perfect that he has gained over 340,000 followers in just a couple days. On Sunday night, he tweeted, "Am I famous now?" I think it's safe to say that yes, he is.
Definitely. What is next for Alex from Target then? What happens now?
His career, well, he's got the inevitable reality show, Keeping Up with Alex, autobiography, Me from Target, I guess could be that.
Yeah.
And then just the Charlie Sheen breakdown that we've got to look forward to.
Let's all look forward to that. I think this would be a good point to bring up hashtag Phil from Target.
She won't let this go.
was a thing last night. Can we put those pictures side by side?
Phil, explain your hair. What was happening in that picture?
I had swooping hair like Thor, I like to think.
I just don't think it was a good look for you. You look like a goth Viking.
Oh.
You're still a teen sensation, Phil. Don't let them get you down.
Internet news. The Danish National Chamber Orchestra has decided to spice things up in the concert hall by attempting their very own version of the Chili Challenge as they play Jacob Gade's Tango Jalouse.
Which I'm sure is how that's pronounced. Sorry to any Radio 3 listeners. Okay. So there they are, holding their chilies. What is going to happen next? In the mouth it goes.
Oh no, they look like they're in pain already.
Oh, as people from the internet, we've been there.
They're
At least
crying.
twice.
Oh, he's sniffing, he's rubbing his nose.
He's got an easy job, he just has to hit a tambourine with a stick.
Hey, tambourines are pretty hard work, Dan.
Look at the composer. It's hard to tell whether they're just really feeling the music or whether it's the chilies, isn't it?
It still sounds really good, though.
I feel like it's worse for the people playing the brass.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Imagine your nose running into your clarinet.
Grasping her throat. See, that's just the emotions of the music
Looks
right
like he's
there.
enjoying it a bit too much.
It's worrying how perfect it still sounds, though, doesn't it? I mean, you kind of
Yeah.
watch these things because you want it to go horribly wrong, and yet
Hey!
these professionals, that was just a flawless performance either way.
I feel like the internet is responsible for their pain.
I feel like this ruins society. But I'd like to see more of these videos.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the opera cinnamon challenge. That'd be pretty good. Or the ice skating what's in my mouth challenge.
Maybe not while you're being a pilot and then doing the cinnamon challenge.
Certain environments that it would be inappropriate.
Internet news.
The Internet News.
Thanks, Dan and Phil. Now keep sending in your hashtag Halloween fails, as we will be reading out those next. But now we have a song from one of my favourite angry-sounding bands, as Phil would put it.
They're not that angry sounding.
You're like, I don't like music with shouting. It's true. This is The Motherlode by Mastodon.
Dan and Phil on BBC Radio 1.
That was Mastodon with The Motherlode.
That wasn't too shouty. I enjoyed that.
Is that not too angry-sounding for you, Phil?
No, I could clean the kitchen for that.
We'll start with that and then just work your way up to, like, Dimmu Borgir or something. Yes, Phil. So, we've been asking you to tweet in with hashtag Halloween fails after Phil only had some pickled onion crisps to offer children on the festive season.
some great ones. Ariane said, someone gave my cousin an onion-covered toffee in toffee, like pretending it's a toffee apple, and tried to pass it off as a candy apple.
No, that is the worst thing you could ever do to someone.
Such a good prank, though, that.
Do you reckon, is that one of those weird things that would work? Like caramelized sugar and onions?
No,
Do you reckon?
that'd be horrible.
Not a Heston thing waiting to be discovered.
Miss Madley said, this Halloween I was a zombie and had my fake teeth on, and someone blew one of my teeth out with a leaf blower.
What? So many questions come up. It's like, why did someone have a leaf blower? Was it part of their costume? Was
That
it
is
just
the one.
trespassing?
We have to act that out on Snapchat.
What, someone having their teeth blown out?
Yeah.
That is so rude. I am so sorry, Amber. Kat on Twitter said that they thought that there was some spider cobwebs in their kitchen, so they kept it up as part of Halloween, but it turned out it was an actual cobweb, and then the eggs hatched into real spiders.
Oh, I've gone all itchy.
Ah!
That's horrible.
In the kitchen as well. And Holly said, Alex from Target became a thing after Halloween ended, so no one could dress up as him. Oh. No!
Maybe next time.
Do you reckon he'll still be around this time next year?
I reckon he's got
Waiting to
longevity.
see what Alex does. He'll be around for a while, won't he? Alex from Target.
He'll be the new Tom Cruise before we know it. Anyway,
Okay.
we have a very festively appropriate video coming up that we've made. But before that, here's some Ed Sheeran in the live lounge with Take Me to Church. I'm so jealous of his singing abilities.
Yes.
Maybe I should just swap lives with him.
Maybe not the hair, though. Oh, that's the best part. Here's Ed Sheeran.
That was Ed Sheeran in the live lounge. This scary music didn't really accompany the Ed Sheeran, did it?
It doesn't have to. It's a festively transitional show, as you've been saying.
We've had some more hashtag Halloween fails. This is a very strange one from the Craftman, who said, I managed to get a pumpkin stuck in the washing machine. I'm 13.
So many questions. Why was he trying to put a pumpkin in the washing machine?
I don't know.
Why would anyone possibly want to put a pumpkin in a washing machine?
Maybe to scare their grandma or something, like going to do the washing machine.
Oh no, it's pumpkin horror.
Had a scary face, maybe.
I think he was doing something insidious that he doesn't want to admit.
Rachel was trick-or-treating with a friend and knocked on the door of one of her school teachers.
No. Oh no. That would be the ultimate horror, wouldn't it?
I've talked about the time I played Pictionary with my school headmaster.
Why?
Horrible, horrifying.
no.
He lived on the street. My parents dragged me along, didn't tell me where we were going. Headmaster.
How could they ever do that to a child?
He played charades in front of me. And we have one from Happy Vlogging that said after hosting a party, there was blood everywhere because
Why?
someone hurt themselves. Truly looked like a horror movie.
Oh, that's nice and ambiguous right there. We hope that it was like a nosebleed kind of hurt themselves and not a kind of like missing torso kind of hurt themselves.
One more.
Detected, and I'm presuming it's okay.
You're a wizard, Fran said, when I was 7, I dropped a pumpkin from the balcony onto my cousin and gave him concussion.
Don't do that. What do you think?
Pumpkins are heavy.
It's not a Halloween fail. You're just evil. What happened? Is that the omen right there?
I brought the biggest pumpkin from Sainsbury's.
That could destroy a car if you dropped your blinking
almost
pumpkin onto
broke
it.
my spine with it.
You have to be careful with pumpkins, guys. Whether you're putting them in the washing machine or attempting to injure your cousins, they're not to be played with.
They are not to be played with. Anyway, we have a special video for you now. It's very festively appropriate. We thought we would advance the one-word story game from last month.
You said because that went well. I don't think it did go very well. I think our story was very questionable when we did that.
Well, here's what happened when we upped the stakes and added danger into the mix.
Why are we wearing coats?
Dan, you are not even ready for the inspiration I had behind this video.
Okay.
Well, the one-word story game last month was pretty popular.
Yes.
So I thought we could make it seasonal.
Nice.
And try and tell the stories for the length an indoor sparkler burns for.
Oh my god. It's like the one-word story firework challenge.
Let's do it.
That's a name. Yesterday,
Dan
drank
from
the
fountain
of
cola
inside
Janice's
mind.
and
The
fish.
exploded. And the fish exploded. Really? Oh my god. Who is Janice?
I think I was thinking of Janice from Friends.
Oh yeah, because that's relevant, isn't it, to anything that we're doing?
I don't know what I was thinking.
We've only got one sparkler left, so
Yep.
if this isn't a good story, we have failed the one-word story firework challenge.
Let's do our best.
Okay. On
The
firework
night
in
Brighton
the
shark
decided
to
eat
Taylor
Swift's
eye.
because
He
doesn't
like.
her new album.
That was a good one.
Okay, did that make sense? Probably not. Who
Kind
knows?
of.
That was a 3-word hyphenated finish I had there as well.
Sorry, Taylor.
So do we get a pass, or was that a fail? How are you thinking?
Well, as I'm judging myself, I'm going to say it was a pass.
Oh, we did it! Yeah! Don't do that at home, though. Mainly because it's a terrible format that doesn't really work.
Bye.
There we go, the one-word story firework challenge.
I don't think that's going to catch on.
Full of brilliant ideas.
I like the Taylor Swift and the shark, though. That could be a cartoon.
That was good. Better than Sharknado.
If you like Sharky and George, Sharky and Taylor, would you watch that?
I probably, although I wouldn't want her to have her eye eaten, to be honest.
I am so excited to play this next video. I wasn't even sure I'd be allowed to, but apparently I am.
You're really abusing your power as a DJ here, Phil.
Remember that song about Shia LaBeouf being a cannibal?
What,
that
you
went
mean
all over Tumblr?
Actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf, my favourite song of all time.
Yes.
I do remember.
Well, the creator of it, Rob Cantor, has performed it live with a full orchestra and loads of creepy Shia LaBeouf masks. So, if this was a time to get online, this would be the time.
This is one of those things that I don't think the world deserved someone to take an internet joke this far, but I'm really happy it probably made my entire life.
Here's actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Why are we wearing Actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf on Radio 1.
The noise you hear right now is Shia LaBeouf actually clapping, so he approved of that message.
Actual Shia LaBeouf, how did they get him?
I have no idea.
Do you reckon he's just wandering the streets of Hollywood and they just like got one of those Bo Peep things and they were like, That's fine.
I would hope so. So you were telling me that you had a Halloween fail, Dan.
Oh gosh, I didn't know whether I want to tell this. It's a bit gross.
Tell it.
This didn't happen this year. It happened when, how old was I? I must have been like 13 or 14. I went to a Halloween party, which is ironic. Obviously, I had more of a social life when I was 13 than I do now. And someone's mum made a bobbing for apples in a proper barrel. It was
Nice.
very exciting. You know, it's a good Halloween party when your parents help to make it festive.
Yeah.
And I was not the first in line to do the bobbing for apples, so, you know, it was already a bit weird because people are sharing their mouth liquid with each other. And I go in, I stick my face in it, and I'm trying to dunk something round. I find something in my mouth. It doesn't fully enter my mouth. It just kind of like does a cheeky little nibble into my corner. I take my head out of the bucket, and it was someone's retainer falling into the
Oh, that is
bucket.
horrible.
I was like, is this a bit of leaf? Is it a twig? Where did they get the apples from? And I was like, and I just spent the next, like, 5 minutes just kind of scraping the inside of my mouth. More embarrassing. Like, how could someone not realise that their top jaw retainer had fallen into a bucket?
I don't know. That's too horrific for words.
It is too horrific for words, isn't it? It's like when, you know, the elderly person bites into the thing and their denture's fallen out. It was that moment of horror for me.
Can you still eat apples now?
What, can I ever
flashbacks?
eat? Well, I can never stick my head in a barrel ever again. I think I can brave apples, though. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
So I hope that has inspired anyone else for their Halloween fails. It can be worse. You didn't have someone else's braces touching your face.
If you think you can beat that, tweet us #Halloween fails, and remember to follow us on Snapchat at BBCR1, as we'll be reenacting some more of those.
How do you think our reenactings have been going so far in the show?
I was very northern in one of them.
Were you channeling
and
your roots?
The other one was pretty bizarre, I have to say.
Okay, so now for our next song. I've been deeply enjoying all of the live lounges on the radio and YouTube channel, just some subtle corporate promo there. And one of my favourite ones that stood out was Taylor Swift covering Riptide. Don't you just love Taylor Swift?
I want to rub my face against her face.
You had to go full restraining order, didn't you? You can't just compliment someone.
I didn't know where I was going with that, I'm sorry.
I was going to say that I'm going through a phase at the moment where I'm rediscovering my love for Taylor Swift. I love her new album. I love everything about her. I love her face, her voice, but I don't think I'd go as far as to rub myself on it. This is her cover of Riptide in the live lounge. Hope you enjoy.
Straight from the internet and climbed into your ears.
That was Taylor Swift. I'm very sorry for saying I'd rub my face on your face.
Phil, you need some self-control, to be honest. Okay, now it is time for Phil's biggest contribution to humanity in his entire life, the
7-second challenge.
I'm sorry, that'll always be the worst intro to anything.
It's 7 seconds long. It's a genius invention.
Okay, so for anyone who is unaware of the internet phenomenon, Phil, would you like to explain to everyone what the 7-second challenge is?
Basically, we've written some challenges we're going to give it to each other, and we have 7 seconds to complete those challenges.
That is it.
That's the game.
We will challenge each other to do something, and we have to do it in 7 seconds. So it's fair to say that I completely wrecked you last time by asking you to do head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You weren't ready.
That was
on an
awful.
emotional level, on a physical level, you were not ready for that challenge. So
I wasn't.
I hope you're in the zone now. Do you
Also,
think you are?
the winner gets to choose their own song, which is a wild card that we wouldn't usually play on Radio 1.
We're both very passionate about the songs that we've chosen today, so the stakes are very high.
Yep.
Phil, are you in the zone?
I'm in the zone.
Okay, who's going to go first?
I'll give you one first.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Dan, make a noise of 3 household appliances.
Kettle, oven, and washing machine.
Does a kettle go?
I'm giving myself a ding for that. Are you
Okay.
kidding me? Okay, Phil, are you ready?
Oh no.
Clap 40 times.
This is going to be 38.40.
That was
like 77.
That was at least 50. Wow. Are your
anything.
wrists okay? Oh my word.
It was worth it to win.
Okay.
Dan.
Yep.
Make up a puppet show with this scary face.
Oh, okay. Hi. Hello, my name's Mr. Doesn't have any eyeballs. They're red. It's a really terrible story. Actually, don't ask about it.
Producer Vic is laughing her head off, so I'll have to give you that one.
You can't just put someone on the spot with so much creativity, Phil. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Get the pink envelope on the stool in the corner of the room.
Whether is there a pink envelope anywhere? I got it! I got it!
Oh my word!
Zombie
that was
Pikachus
impressive.
can't run that fast, Dan.
Oh wow.
Right.
Okay.
Dan, Make up a rap about socks.
Okay, socks, they're really great. You put them on your clocks and then they're warm at night.
No.
It's Halloween, that's such a fright. Word.
That didn't make sense.
Guys, okay, nods or shakes from around.
No, it wasn't gangster enough.
Was that your criticism?
Yes.
Okay, Phil, sorry if I didn't throw up enough gang signs for your spooky sock-themed rap.
So that means I am the winner!
I hate you personally.
That feels so good that I've won.
You've reclaimed your format.
Yeah, and the song that I've chosen is very appropriate for the costumes that we are wearing now.
They are.
I've chosen to play the Pokemon theme on Radio 1. Pokemon theme on Radio 1. If you weren't singing along, I suggest you get in a time machine, go back to the 90s and relive all the magic you could have had.
But didn't.
The Dan and Phil Show on Radio 1. It's like eating a cake, but with your ears.
That was me that made that sound.
No, it wasn't.
We have some more
Just as menacing.
Halloween fails from the internet.
But will they beat me getting someone's retainer in my mouth? Let's find out.
OK Emily bought some blue body paint and it stained her skin and she was blue for a whole weekend. A human Smurf.
I'm kind of laughing, but that sounds quite traumatizing.
She could have joined the Blue Man group and been like the Blue Woman.
The blue girl.
The Blue Girl. And another person, who hasn't left their name, unfortunately, said...
Anonymous, why?
I knocked on some guy's house and he gave me a tangerine and said, you need to be healthy.
That happened to me once.
What?
I was so angry. I was not... You knock on a guy's house and he gives you fruit. I mean, really? Are you going to be that guy on Halloween?
I know, right?
Awful.
And one from Liz Horan said, I was one of 2 people dressed up as a Halloween person at the pub because they had a theme night.
Oh, dear.
So, the only people dressed up.
That, you mean you like Reese Witherspoon?
Could have been soulmates. That's like the start of a romantic comedy, isn't
The
it?
only 2 people that turned up as sexy bunnies/vampires at the pub. It could be the start of something beautiful.
I'd watch it. We should release that next year.
You just keep coming up with brilliant ideas, don't you? Okay, now something that we force guests to do on our Internet Takeover show when we have these big YouTube stars on is our Dan and Phil Radio Challenge, which we thought would be the perfect fusion of the skills required to be a radio presenter and a YouTuber, where you have to attempt to read a generic script whilst doing some kind of stupid challenge. And it's very funny for us to kind of watch and laugh when we're not doing it, and then we forget that sometimes it's actually our turn. So now it's time for us to show you... On the internet, vloggers must be able to survive horrifying challenges. On the radio, presenters must be able to read generic links.
When these tasks are combined, will you be champions of both realms or fail miserably?
This is the Dan and Phil Radio Challenge. Tag.
Now, last week on the Internet Takeover, we had the biggest siblings on the internet, which is kind of ironic because they're both really short. Zoe and Joe Sugg. Let us see what they challenged us to do live on the radio.
Okay, so for Dan and Phil, what are we going to do? What should we do?
Come on, guys.
I think they should read the script whilst sellotaping each other's faces.
Are you kidding me?
Joe Sugg, that sounds so painful.
Okay, Phil, are you ready?
No.
So this is a very important Children in Need announcement that we have to get right.
Okay,
so,
get it right, Dan.
Okay.
Here we go.
Next Monday on Radio 1 and BBC's Children in Need are working together to give one school their best day ever. Okay, Phil?
The winning school was Tendring Technology College. That was Tendring Technology College. So some of us will be packing our bags and heading to Frinton-on-Sea.
Keep listening across Radio 1 to find out who will be joining us to make it their best day ever. And all you need to get fundraising is to head over to bbc.co.uk/Pudsey. Phil, I'm pressing the buttons today.
I've made sure you've got a nose hole.
I can't see through my nose. Okay, should I just try to do the rest of the... I can see...
You're free again.
That was absolutely terrible. Oh my god, that hurt my face. That ripped my skin off. Thanks, Suggs, for setting us that challenge. Terrible people. Okay, so next week on the Internet Takeover, it is Sprinkle of Glitter and Jim Chapman doing it together. So, Phil, we have to give a little challenge to them. What do you say?
I've thought of one.
Okay.
They have to do the script while doing 10 different accents.
Okay, there you go, Jim and Louise. Good luck with that. And now this next song is probably one of my favourite songs of the entire year. It is from the LA producer Flying Lotus and Kendrick Lamar. You know that guy. I think it combines everything that I love about them into one amazing song. I think it's the best thing in the entire world. This is Flying Lotus featuring Kendrick Lamar with Never Catch Me on Radio 1. Never Catch Me. He recently released a new music video that was made by the guy that created Salad Fingers, which is the weirdest and most horrible thing I've ever seen in the entire world. But a genius, isn't he, Phil?
Genius.
Do you like Rusty Spoons?
I love Rusty Spoons.
Dan and Phil on BBC Radio 1.
So that was our Halloween special. I want to say shout out to all the people tweeting hashtag Halloween fails. They really make me feel worse about the retainer incident personally.
We've got a final one from Danglerfish, who said, I met an old friend while trick-or-treating by chance and punched her in the face by accident. She must have had a scary mask.
How do you manage that? That's quite impressive.
I don't know.
Okay, make sure you listen next Monday at 9 p.m. Added is Sprinkle of Glitter and Jim Chapman joining forces. We'll see you on the 1st of December for a ho-ho-ho-down.
Oh, yeah.
See what I did there?
We're going to be opening our advent calendars all at the same time.
Hugh Stevens is coming up next, so make sure you stay listening. But now, why not end on the best song in the world? This is Tenacious D, Tribute.